Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Back here with Money Matters, Ben Higgins, Brock Harcourt's financial services guru. Welcome.
Thanks, Molt.
Now, what were you saying
Brocky.
before? So we've got Les Burdett on, and obviously Ben with his cricketing background. What were you telling me before?
Oh, I think that Ben should actually take Les out for drinks for the rest of his life because in a grand final for Sturt 2 or 3 years ago, Ben brought himself on because no one else could get the wickets, came on bowling absolute poop and got 4 wickets for 3 runs and won the grand final on his own.
Your little beauty, Higgy.
And Les prepared the pitch.
Do you remember that one?
Yes, certainly make or break that day, that's for sure. And there was a few eyes raised at my decision, but it
Well, obviously,
had one of those days out, I
you must have
suppose.
been pretty pleased because you retired straight after the game.
I couldn't get any better than that.
Righto, Higgy, we're here to talk about finance, debt consolidation. What's that all about?
Yeah,
I've
look,
got lots of it. How do I consolidate it?
I think a few people have, Malts. But look, I just wanted to talk today about, we're positioned, financial services with Brock Harcourt's a position to obviously provide finance for purchasing, etc. But we also well positioned with refinance and debt consolidation. And with, I suppose, the hot topic of interest rates and banks, some of the second tiers are reducing their fixed rates, and there's some changes in the rates. No longer are all the banks exactly the same, or especially the majors. So we're well positioned there to really compare what you're on, as well as, people probably over the last 12, 18 months or more, may have found things tough as well. So their credit card debt's a bit higher, etc. What we can do, if you've got a little bit of equity in your property, and a lot of people do have, because over the years the properties have increased, there's room there that you should be considering perhaps consolidating that debt into your home loan, obviously getting it on home loan rates as opposed to credit card rates that are 20% plus. I saw one last night that was GE, and you're looking at 27% and that sort of stuff. So it's pretty scary.
Just amazing. And I think people perhaps don't understand this enough because it is so critical. Some years ago, Maltz, I did the same thing. I had loans all over the place and went in and put them all into one big package, finished up, I think it was about 30% less per month that was costing me for the same borrowings, and all went into one big loan. So it's something that the specialists such as Benny can talk to the viewers about, and it can make a heck of a difference to your monthly repayments.
Oh,
Ben,
certainly.
Sorry, mate. Is it just credit cards, or can it be cars, or if you hire purchasing gear, and what other things can they consider consolidating?
Yeah, you can certainly personal loans, credit cards, car loans, whatever's on a high rate that you're paying $600, $700, $800 a month when you could be looking at $100 or $200 added on to your loan. So you're saving $500, $600 a month. Which what you can do is, if you've got cash flow problems, that obviously helps out. Or you can put it straight on your home loan and reduce your overall debt down quicker.
Fantastic. Now, I picked up, you said that the longer-term loans, or the fixed loans, I think is the correct terminology, are actually dropped a little bit as far as the interest rates rise, interest rates go. So what is that telling you as to the future of the interest rates?
Look, I think a couple of things. I think probably the rates will sort of stay on hold for the short term, and I think some of the, the 1, 2 and 3 year rates especially have come down a little bit with the the second tier lenders, or not the four, the majors, your INGs, your Citibanks, your Bank West have all looked to reduce their fixed rates, and obviously have got some cash to offer out there, some funds out there. So that's provides competition, which is great for us. Look, I suppose listening to Brocky before about the funding issues, I think that the majors are always talking about the funding issues, and there's probably a fair bit of truth in that, and maybe they're warming us up for to sneak one in or two, but hopefully
it wouldn't be significant though. Anyways, I mean we're talking sort of much less than 0.25%. And the general consensus, I think you'd agree, is that in terms of the Reserve Bank, they'll probably leave it till very late in the year. And there's some people, Mott's even talking about bringing it back down a little bit if things are still tough.
Yeah. Look, I think the rates are still pretty good.
They are.
The normal, the sort of normal market rates, mid-sevens, we're not even there yet in terms of, what you can get out in the market. So even if it goes up your 0.1 or 0.2, we're still, if it's not bang, one after the other like we've seen, we can cope with that.
Ben, a little reality check. The interest rates are still quite low in comparison to what we've seen in the past, so thank you very much. Now, one thing that you always bring to the table is a product of the week. Have you got one for us this week?
Yeah, look, it probably flows on to that debt consolidation. Citibank have got probably a policy as well. They, if you have got credit card debt, as I mentioned before, and perhaps you've really struggled with that to the point where you've missed some payments, there is a product that Citibank have that allows you, if your home loan is, squeaky clean, if you like, you can look to consolidate that trouble debt, if you like, into that. And they've just reduced their fixed rates again, where you can get 7.29 for a 3-year fixed rate. So you're looking at, if you consolidate that from a 20% to 7.29 and lock it away for 3 years, I think that's a good option to explore at least.
Fantastic.
And they do also have their professional packages, so that you can get variable rates 6.89 if you're borrowing over 150. So that's probably my product of the week.
Product of the week. I know you don't like us mentioning it because you're giving away a fair bit of money, but if they do actually contact you directly from the show, what's the deal, Ben?
For all open house viewers, where that do a successful loan through us in July. We're in July now.
We're in July.
We will give you back $200.
Fantastic. Make the most of it. $200
Money back guarantee.
Right back. Yeah. Ben, thank you very much indeed for joining us. It's a shame you're not rolling the arm over anymore because you're a very entertaining cricketer, but now one of the best brokers going around in the finance game. Money Matters with Ben Higgins. If you want to contact Ben, you can get him on
042 111 9033.
Thank you very much. Ben Higgins, Brock Harcourt's Financial Services. We bounce straight into, and you'll enjoy this one, Benny, straight into an interview with Les Burdett. Thoroughly enjoyed catching up with him at the beautiful Adelaide Oval. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you're going to enjoy it. Les Burdett.